Hi there. Live from Venice Beach, California. Welcome to the virtual edge of Western civilization. Merry Christmas Eve-ishness. Today is December 24th, 2014. And this is show number 133 because show number 132 was a disaster, technically speaking. So don't even go looking for it because I deleted it. And I'm hoping that this is broadcasting well. I hope it worked out the bugs. Maybe this need to move another day, but anyway. Oh, beautiful day. It's going to be about 70-ish. And just feeling very much in gratitude. I had an opportunity to I'll just go ahead. It's like the past 2 days, yesterday's and the day before, there were some serious technical problems with getting, whatever I was saying wasn't necessarily across release remix place 2008 documentary. It's called The Return of the Man. Of authentic astrology. He asked me to reissue it as funded for Brucewood. It was 2 days ago. Me and a friend to cut it and to release it as hundreds of time. A year ago, actually, today is the anniversary of when I left him after being with him for about 2 weeks in hospice. And the irony is not lost on me. So, year later, we have the movie book is complete, and it's all just now about getting it on the computer and getting it on. I'm gonna sit on YouTube and with a hi. Well, I guess the technical problems aren't over because it just went out again, as you can probably tell. So I guess there's a possibility that you're not hearing what I'm saying right now, and that it's anything else. So here's the latest iteration of this piece. Hi there.
How much are these?
Different prices. Which one are you looking at?
There's the big ones on the bottom.
If it's in the frame, then it's like this. This is 35, and the rest of them start at 45.
Without the frame for 45?
Yes. Yeah, those are
You're very cute.
cute. I was going for cute. Yeah. That was it. Pretty cute today.
Well, I'm from Canada. That's a really, really big compliment.
Is it?
Yeah.
Alrighty then. We're in Canada.
Ottawa. Ontario.
Been there.
Yeah. Oh, have you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a great place to live.
You think?
Place to visit, yeah.
Yeah.
It's cold though at this time.
Yeah. Right on.
Take care.
Bless. Canadians. Cute. He's cute. Let's do something about that. Where's my water bottle? Well, it feels really wonderful to be out today. And I'm looking forward to getting the movie out and over the next couple of days and spending less time staring at the computer screen for a little bit. I forget sometimes the impact it has on me because I'm so focused on it when doing that kind of work. But I've got another couple of projects that I'm really excited about bringing to completion over the next couple of months. And essentially getting back to writing the process of writing the sequel to the Emergence movie project and Emergence Beyond. And last night I picked up, there's a person who's been a supporter and a inspiration to that project all along from when I went up to first photographed the sites up in Big Sur and posted those before I posted them on the web, the photographs on the web. He happened to come through town. His name's Todd Swan, and he's had some very key information about it, about the project. At key moments, like when this is such a weird moment. So the emergence movie, I was staying in the hotel on the boardwalk here, the Venice Beach Hotel where I used to live. And I've been staying in there for several months. And from about September until the beginning of January. And working on the master almanac for that year. I published that. And then, and at the same time, I was editing the Emergence Beyond 2012 movie documentary. And it was right around days without ever coming. I was on the 4th floor and I never left the room because I was in the middle of editing, and I was editing like 15 or 18 hours a day, editing the movie. And I finally got it to pretty much to where I wanted it to be. It was a 90-minute piece, and suddenly the room phone in the hotel rang. It was right about this time of the day. The room phone rings, right? I never used the room phone. I didn't know anybody knew I was in the room there. Knew the phone. I thought it was maybe the desk. I don't know, got some mail or something, right? Guy at the desk says, "There's a gentleman here that's looking for you. His name is Todd Swan." I'm like, Todd Swan? I didn't even know he was on the mainland. He lives in Maui, right? And send him up, So he comes up, and Todd is a filmmaker, right? When he got back from Vietnam, he got into filmmaking, and a documentary filmmaker, and Todd is actually in the movie, He's in the. I don't know that I mentioned him by name, but I mentioned that this friend of mine. The story goes like this. I discovered the first site in 93, 94. And for 10 years, I thought the Forest Service knew everything about it, right? And in 2004, I went up to the spot on the weekend of 9/11, 2004, and I photographed. I bought some cameras like 3 months before, and I drove up there and photographed the site. And when I got back here to LA, that I was putting the photographs up on my website. I was working out here on the boardwalk in the daytime. And one day, Todd shows up out of the blue. He just walks up, "Hey, man, how you doing?" Right? And Todd, it turns out, I said, you gotta look at these photographs. And I tell him the whole story about finding the sites up in Big Sur, finding the site, because at that point, there was only one site, right? It wasn't till another 5 years later that I discovered the second site, right? And so I showed him the photographs, and the first thing he says to me is, "Have you ever heard of this person named Daddy Bray?" And I was like, "No," because Daddy Bray was a Hawaiian kahuna, and he got a message from the universe that he needed to come to the mainland. Right? So he comes to the mainland, and he goes all up and down the West Coast looking for why it is that the universe had him. Oh, that's much better. I like that. He goes all up and down the West Coast looking for why he should you know, why did the universe have him come here, right? And he can't find anything, but he did find here in LA. He found this print shop that was run by, owned and operated by these Native Americans. And so he hung out with those folks for a couple of days, and then he decided he was going to leave. And so he said to the folks he was going to leave, and they said, "Oh, you're going back to Hopi land?" And he said, "No, what's Hopi land? I'm Hawaiian. I'm going back to Hawaii." You know, and that's when he realized that that's where he needed to go. And so he went there, and I mean, I talk about this in the movie if you haven't watched it, and in the book version of the movie. What happens is he goes to Hopi land. You know, he has a formal meeting. He's announced. He's a person of stature. It's a kahuna. So they have a formal meeting with the Hopi elders, and there's nothing comes to light in the formal meeting until they move to close the meeting, and as a part of the closing, he asked permission to sing the song of his lineage, and the Hopi say, "Sure, go ahead," and so he sings the song of his lineage, and when he's finished, the Hopis are amazed because they can complete the song, because there's this story that a long time ago, some Hopi got a message that their relatives were in trouble in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. And so they made their way to the coastline, and they sailed out. And apparently to make a long story short, and this information comes from Todd as well, on another visit out of the blue. This is why Todd is been such a pivotal person in this whole project. He apparently when they made their way to the coast, for years he was like, "Oh, I just assumed, well, they figured out how to make boats and they went out to sea," right? But apparently they made contact with the Chumash, who were the coastal tribes here in LA and going further north up to Ojai and further north. And the Chumash had tell the story of how these Hopi brothers showed up, and they taught them how to build and sail these boats. And then one day they were gone, So they ended up, and I met with the Chumash, and I think in that meeting they corroborated that story about the Hopi coming and then teaching the Hopi how to. I could be wrong. I may be making that up. Don't hold me to it. All right. So, but 2 years ago, I met with the woman who is the leader of, considered the elder of the Chumash. Hello. How you doing? You look wonderful. I'm a fan of freckles.
What?
I said I'm a fan of freckles.
Oh, well then, bring
there
it
we
on.
go. Yeah, right. Crazy.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Did you think so?
You bet.
God, you're so talented.
Thank you.
You dream it first?
Sometimes. I think images are coming out of my dreams and visions, and I get it wherever.
Wherever.
How much is it?
Yeah.
These are 2 for $15, 3 for $20, 1 for $10.
And then with the frame?
All the frames are hand painted by me as well, and they're real glass, and they're 20.
Okay, I'm gonna get the frames. And then, what? Oh, the sun's mine.
Yeah. Okay. Because you were all concerned.
Yeah, no, it's. Oh, she's got a lot. You like this? I like that. I love that one. Yeah. I don't like that. I like that other one. Showed. What's your name? I'm Joyce.
Well, that's a great name.
What's your name?
David Alexander.
David Alexander. Very nice to meet you. I showed David. I picked one up and asked him if he dreamed that one first.
Yeah. You want to hear the story of that piece?
Of that one?
Yeah.
Absolutely, positively.
No, the one that you.
Oh yeah, where is
The
that?
one that you picked up is called LiVE, and the story behind that is that.
Oh, this is.
Oh yeah, this is part of that story too. This is flying.
Right.
Okay? This is a later, but it's part of the whole series, the Learning to Fly series. So I was in Martha's Vineyard for I was just taking a day off. I'm from Falmouth, right across the sound. And I was just taking a day off from what I was doing, which is painting t-shirts for a living, which is how I taught myself how to paint. And I went over to the far side of the island. There's this beach called Katama, like a 12-mile long beach, incredible beach. Katama is the name of the Wampanoag princess.
Katama?
Katama. Yeah. Anyway, she showed me. This guy walks by with a t-shirt. He has this silhouette on his breast, right? Of a silkscreen of a person with a fishing rod in black, and the background is that color yellow.
Okay.
Right? And I was just in passing, I was like, what is it about this image that is so striking? And I realized it was the silhouette and that color, right? So I was like, I want to do that, but with something that I'm interested in, you know? So the next day, I painted that painting, right? And then...
Like leap of faith?
Well, it's called Learning to Fly, because I've always wanted to learn how to fly, right? So then the next day I did the blue one, right? And then, but what's interesting is, did you find that one that you?
No, I was still looking through it. I want to find that one that I touched.
It's called the leap, and that's really important because there is a, isn't it? Yeah, this is the blue edge, and that's the orange edge. But they're both called Learning to Fly. And so years go by. And I realized when I actually started to learn how to fly that, you know, learning to land is, you know, if you don't learn how to land, until you learn how to land, you fly afraid of the ground, right? And
That's cute.
it's, I'm just from, if you've ever tried to fly, you know that you're flying afraid. You're always trying to pull the nose up, and you pull it up too much or whatever, you know, because you're afraid of the ground.
That's crazy.
Right? But you have to make your peace with that because you have to get down, right? So which is so metaphoric of life, you know, the thing that you're most afraid of, you have to make your peace with.
That's so cool.
Right? In a good way. Otherwise, it doesn't end well.
Yes.
You know, it can be very messy, right? So I realized that I needed to paint Learning to Land.
I love it.
Right? And so this one is all free. Learn to fly, flying,
and learning to
land all in one piece. And so the piece is called Flying.
I love it.
Right? But the piece that you pulled out so easily initially.
I know.
It has its own.
Although I love that one too. But I don't know where that one is. That's such a neat story.
Yeah.
So how's your flying?
Oh, pretty good. I realized also that I've always just wanted to levitate. There you go. Okay. So take the person out of the painting. The person isn't there. Okay. So remember that day I'm walking to the beach, right? And I walked past the guy. Just before that happened, there's along the beach, running parallel to the beach, there's a culvert, right? There's this long channel. And the road goes over that little channel. And when I was leaving the beach that day, I walked down into that little culvert that goes under the road. And I looked towards the sunset, and this is what I saw, right? So I painted the painting, and you know, years go by, and I have that painting out here one day, and a bird pooped on it, right in the middle.
You turned lemons into lemonade, baby.
As a matter of fact.
That's great.
You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's called the leap.
I love that.
And it's it's obviously connected to this whole series.
That's awesome. I'm gonna get this one because I love your story.
Thank you.
David Alexander.
There you
English.
go. English. Yeah, let's not forget that part. Goes back a ways. Venice. So, just full disclosure, you're on camera, and I do a live stream at 3. And
Find David Alexander English photos. They're amazing.
thank you, thank you. That was unsolicited.
I didn't know that I was on record. What? Me? Stop. Can I get this one also? No, but for real, I think I was on also.
That's cool. Let's.
They're beautiful.
There's my little blurby there. Today is
The 24th.
12,
Christmas Eve.
24, 204. And this is fun. So, are you related?
She's my mom.
Damn! Did I say that out loud?
And you're on record.
Did I? So, did you want this version, this particular print? Can you attach to this one?
I do like that one also.
Okay. So, this has my blurb already. Right? Is it okay if I roll these up together?
Yeah, but we want you to write on the back of that.
Want me to write on the back of it?
Because you're the artist, and that's my
What would you like me to write? Joyce. Okay.
And how much do I owe you?
For what?
That and that.
Okay. This is 20. That's $40. 2015. Yep. $40. Hey brother, how you doing? Down on it. Good to see you again. Nice camera. Is that a Canon? Right on. Is that a 28-300 lens? 16? Yeah. I didn't even know they had a 16. It was the Tamron lens before it was 28-300. 16 is even better. Yeah.
It's about time tables.
Are you always here?
In spirit.
I was gonna. No, I want to figure that out.
What's that?
Don't tell me yet.
What?
What is your sign? But don't tell me yet.
Okay. How can I not? How are we going to do that?
Well, we're just.
How are we going to do that?
Well, you are eventually.
You want to know what my sign is? Okay.
Eventually.
Right. You Gemini?
Oh, Gemini.
There's energy in here.
What's your sign? What is it? And you are?
She's 16.
Ah, so the other end.
You are not like a Gemini.
Well, it's like
Right out the
it's
gate.
because I'm towards Gemini.
Oh yeah, it says
Oh,
Taurus
okay.
is the 20th.
I can just tell you that right out of the gate, you are not an asshole.
Maybe. The audience here is very calm and relaxing. But the higher
Your
part-
assholeness doesn't even compare.
Okay.
I don't even think, he probably lied about that.
Okay, I narrowed it down to 4.
You've narrowed it down to 4.
What's that?
She's really good at it.
I don't think, I mean, try. I'll say what I said.
We're trying to figure out who you are.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
It's like a Leo.
That's right.
That's what I hear. I hear that a lot.
How about this? You turn around. And he's gonna tell me. Turn around. No, you can look again because I want to see it.
David.
Virgo.
You're a Virgo?
Virgo, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Mars, and Jupiter. 7 planets in the 8th house. Yeah. You still go rising?
I'm a Sagittarius with a little bit of Mercury.
You have Mercury in Sagittarius as well? You have the Sun. Right. What time are you born? Okay, so you have the Sun in Sag on the meter. That's a very powerful rotation for that because anything over 5 degrees is both signs, right? But that specific cusp is the magical place because there's a facing of the dragon, slaying of the dragon, capturing the treasure process that goes on, and that whenever a planet goes to that spot, and your sun is there, you know what I mean? And so then you have Sag Sun. Look there. Right, so the sun's at around 17 degrees. So I'm an astronomer. So then I heard that, but so Sag, Gemini, maybe.
Gemini is the my opposite, right?
Yeah.
Stop. That's why they're.
Stop, Jan.
That's why they love each other.
Right in the middle.
Right?
So you said that. What are you?
Gemini.
No, what?
16.
16.
Of June.
Okay. So 24. So your sun is in her 10th house of mission, purpose, and career.
So we're genuinely connected.
Well, she inspires your mission in life. You know what I mean? And
I know what you
Damn
mean.
straight, baby. Damn straight.
Yeah. So, Ben, let's look at the descendant. When you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So possibly Virgo rising.
Yeah,
No,
Well, you married a Virgo?
very, very possibly Virgo rising.
Then you can watch
And
that.
Very into that.
service, healing, master, healing. Yeah. So you work in your sleep.
That's my friend.
What way?
You know, healing yourself, healing other people. Well, you do know how everybody does.
Like think things.
You actually do that. Right. So then you know.
Well, you know, me projecting and then receiving are two different
No.
things.
No.
Oh, I
No, you can.
Like, it's like blocking them from calling.
They can. Okay, but you can still render the energy to their field, and you can communicate with their higher self.
They're a silver cord.
Well, you're not messing with the social cord. You're just dealing with their higher self. You know, you can deal with them in those like areas. But when you're asked projecting, it's the same energy. You know, if you're doing Reiki healing or anything like that, it's the same energy. It's actually more powerful in that realm than in here.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that's where all the malady is coming from, or manifesting physically. You know. So yeah, it's fun, right?
Yeah,
It's
no, I love it.
How
I
long have
embrace
you been
it.
astral projecting?
Oh, since I was a little girl,
Right.
it was just something that came to me.
Right.
No, I do it consciously. I'm not that on that level. Doing it by itself. I have to think about doing it. I have to consciously think about doing it.
You do this like. I had
It's
to.
like focus. It's like meditation.
And I was kind of scared because I never experienced anything like that. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta go back. I gotta go back. And I was walking around. I started feeling myself coming back, but I felt like I was free falling. I was on the roller coaster. I just came back and I was like, oh shit. And it was like I heard ringing noises.
Yeah.
And like my senses were increased.
Yeah.
Like I knew when someone was talking, someone was saying something. I knew everybody was saying it.
Right.
But that only lasted like, then it went away.
Whoa.
But you can do it, man.
Yeah.
You know, when you're
I'm not
ready.
scared. There's no fear. It's just like, you know how it's the unknown, you know?
Yeah.
And just one thing happened. You know, some people say I've heard. I know it's not it's a really good thing. But I guess people, the conversation you have with other people, you tell them, they don't know anything about it, they say you can mess yourself up like that.
No, true.
And that, just by the you heard them say that, it can hold you back. But I know everybody's not gonna
Only
miss
if
it.
you give it way. You know?
And when I was there, it was just like I am here.
Right.
Like my consciousness was there, my vision was there, everything was there. So I don't know if I teleported, I don't know what it was, but it was, you know, I wasn't here. I was going for like 15 to 20 minutes.
Right.
Meditation
That's called astral projection, my friend.
That was astral projection,
That's exactly what it was.
but that was an intense astral
I'm going to
projection.
keep working on it, but I've never been to that place.
We will be back.
A pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
Bye.
They're waving back.
Oh, they recorded over it, man.
Yeah.
They was recording.
Yeah. I don't know if they can hear you, but I heard it. That's all that matters.
That's good, though, man. I like the new stuff.
The new stuff.
I see some new different stuff than I did in the summertime.
Uh-huh.
Keep it up.
Yeah. Hello.
How's everything going, though, at the source?
At the source?
The place.